It's time for you to start getting serious about your upcoming Disney World hotel stay, and that's why we're giving you an in-depth look into what Disney's resorts are really like to stay in before you go and before you drop all that dough on a room that you know nothing about. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Vlog. I love making videos like this because this is what I need when I'm traveling. I want someone to take me in the hotel room and show me that it's going to be cool and not weird and not like dirty and gross, and that's going to have all the creature comforts that I'm looking for. And so that's what we're going to bring you today. We're going to get you a clear understanding of the Disney hotels and answer your common questions that you have brought to us in the YouTube comments of videos past. We're going to let you know exactly what it's like to stay in these hotel rooms and answer all of your questions. I can't wait. I hope you can't wait. Let's head inside. So choosing just one Disney hotel as your final answer is a big enough decision on its own. But beyond that, you're going to have more hotel room decisions to make. Let's say, for instance, I want to stay at Disney's Contemporary Resort. My first decision I'm going to have to make is whether or not I want to pay for a vacation package. Vacation packages allow you to bundle your hotel room and ticket prices all together in one purchase. This is also the only way you're going to be able to add on a Disney dining plan if you want to prepay for your Disney meals ahead of your trip. Now, for some, the vacation package is the way to go, but for others, you might find it cheaper to just pay for the room individually, especially if you can find any room-only discounts on the special offers page over on the Disney World website. Your second decision is going to be what building are you going to choose to stay in, if it's an option for you. In the case of the Contemporary, I can choose to book a room in the main tower, which is the one where you're going to find all the restaurants, the shops, the monorail driving right through the middle of the building, or you can stay in the garden wing, which is something nobody really knows about until they've been to Disney World a few times. This is a separate building from the main tower, but still adjacent to all those resort amenities. Garden wing rooms tend to be a couple $100s cheaper because you have to walk outside to get over to that A-frame tower. Or you can stay in Bay Lake Tower, which is another separate building that holds the resort's studios and multi-bedroom villas. That's the Disney Vacation Club property, but you can book there too. And it's going to give you a little more space to spread out in most of the rooms. Now, not every hotel is going to have super specific building layouts like this, but it's always important to really read up on each room's location, just so you're not thrown off by where you wind up being placed. Another great example of this is when you book rooms at Disney's Coronado Springs, since some of those are in the main Coronado area, while others will put you in the really nice Gran Destino Tower, which I tend to like best because they're really swanky and you're in an actual hotel tower, which means you have indoor walkways and, it just feels more fancy. Many resorts will also give you the option of whether or not you want to pay extra for a preferred room. That's going to put you in a room that's closer to the resort's main amenities, like the lobby, the restaurants, and or the feature pools. Okay, now we're on to our third decision. What kind of window view do you want? Some of y'all may not really care too much about this one, since your top Disney World vacation priorities might not be all about gazing out your hotel window, so you might be cool with choosing the cheapest window view option and with a resort with a standard view. However, in the case of Disney's Contemporary Resort, since that's the example we're using, along with several other deluxe level hotels, you're going to have multiple window views that might actually be big deciding room factors for you, like the water view, which will give you a nice glimpse out across Bay Lake or one of the pools, or theme park view, which means you'll be able to see the Magic Kingdom's happily ever after fireworks from the comfort of your hotel room each and every night. Now, value hotels and most moderate hotels don't tend to have as many window view options, but they can still give you the choice of paying a little extra for a nice water or pool view or a garden view instead of a view across a parking lot. But the coolest room views that you might be tempted to splurge on are, of course, those Savannah views over at Animal Kingdom Lodge. Savannah views give you the opportunity to wake up each morning, walk out on your room's balcony, and say hello down there to a savannah filled with giraffes and zebras and several more species of African wildlife, like 30 species in total. And now it's time for what's possibly the most important room decision of them all. How big do you want your room to be? Again, value resorts aren't really going to give you a whole lot of choices here. For the most part, you're going to have to settle on a standard room that either has one king bed or two queen beds. Thank goodness, because when I first started in this job, those value resort rooms had double beds, not queen beds. They were tiny, for... For most of us, they feel tiny. But if you're staying at Art of Animation or All-Star Music, you could also get a family suite option to choose from, which comes with separate bedroom and living area. They also have 2 bathrooms, and they can sleep up to 6 guests. The all-star music ones also have like a full kitchen. But in the case of a resort like the Contemporary, I've got a lot more options to choose from. Starting with standard rooms that can sleep up to 3 adults and jumping to grand villas that can sleep up to 12. Before you choose a room style, be sure to read up on what the bed options look like, because you're going to want to choose the setup that's most comfortable for everyone in your group. And let's be real here, those twin-size sleeper chairs don't provide the most comfortable sleeping accommodations by any means. So even if it says it can sleep 5 people, make sure that 5th person is like a very small child. By the way, if you want to learn more about every single Disney World hotel on property, as well as their specific price points and unique themes and pros and cons too, go ahead and scan the QR code you see on the screen now, or head over to disneyfoodblog.com/hotels after this, and we're going to send you a free guide to every Disney World hotel. We're going to even rank them for you from our least favorite to our all-time favorite places to stay on property. I hope that's helpful. I think it's a good start as you are trying to choose your hotel, because you're going to spend a lot of money on this, and we don't want you to waste that money. So this is a free way for you to get a good head start. disneyfoodblog.com/hotels. Ooh, look at all these shiny Disney perks just waiting for you to use during your next resort stay. To be fair, before the 2020 COVID closures, the Disney resorts had a lot more perks that you could take advantage of that still have yet to return to the hotels, like package delivery that would bring your Disney park purchases over to your resort for you, and all of that in-room dining or room service, which is now only available at Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. That being said, there's still a lot for you to take advantage of during your Disney World resort stay, so let's review it all, rapid fire style. First, that early theme park entry. When you're staying at any of the Disney-owned resorts, you can enter every theme park in Disney World a half hour before the general public. Second, extended evening hours. This is for deluxe resort hotel guests only, so those most expensive hotels get this perk. And it allows guests to stay at certain parks on certain nights for a couple of hours after they officially close for the general public. It's about 1 or 2 nights a week that you can do this. Next, the free water park tickets. Starting in 2025, those staying at Disney resorts, including DVC properties, that's Disney Vacation Club properties, will get free tickets to the water parks on their arrival day for everyone in their room. You'll be able to use this perk at either Blizzard Beach or Typhoon Lagoon, but only on your check-in day. The Disney Dining Plan is an optional add-on to your Disney World trip, but you can only purchase it with a vacation package, meaning you're buying your Disney hotel room and park tickets in a bundled price. With the Disney Dining Plan, you can prepay for most of your meals around Disney ahead of your visit. By the way, if you're an annual pass holder or a Disney Vacation Club member, you can also get the dining plan. It's just in a different way, so heads up. Transportation. Disney's not going to leave you high and dry at your hotel. If you need to get somewhere and you don't have a car or don't want to pay for a ride share, your resort will have free transportation available to get you where you need to go anywhere on property. And you get discounted Magic Bands. Disney hotel guests can purchase select Magic Bands or Magic Band Plus designs at a special pre-arrival price through the Disney World website. You've got early Lightning Lane selection. All Disney hotel guests are eligible to purchase and select Lightning Lane passes up to 7 days before your stay for the entire length of your stay, up to 14 days. Meanwhile, everybody else has to purchase and select Lightning Lanes up to 3 days ahead of their park visits. You get 4 extra days. And that dining reservation advantage. For non-Disney hotel guests, they can make dining reservations up to 60 days in advance. But for Disney hotel guests, you can make dining reservations 60 days in advance, plus the entire length of your stay for up to 10 nights. That way you can secure all your reservations on the same day instead of having to log back into the Disney website every single morning to book more reservations one day at a time. Now this next one is a newbie, but some deluxe resort guests might really enjoy having it as an option. The new Lightning Lane Premier Pass option is only available for deluxe resort guests to purchase and allows you to pay one fee for all the Lightning Lanes included in one park, including single pass Lightning Lanes. You do not have to select a reservation time to get in line, allowing you to show up for a ride whenever it fits best into your schedule and giving you a lot more flexibility. That being said, this service is extremely pricey, ranging from $129 to $449 per person. So you'll definitely want to mull it over and decide if that's going to be worth the splurge for your group or not. Okay, so how much will it cost if I want more space? Whether you've got a bigger travel group to accommodate or you just need some more space for your family to spread out or avoid getting all cramped and cranky, the Disney Suites and multi-bedroom options might become your go-to choices. But with great space comes great price points. That's what Uncle Ben said to Spider-Man, right? Word for word. Anyway, typically a suite or multi-bedroom stay is going to cost a few extra hundred versus a standard Disney hotel room. Let's take a look at the standard bedrooms versus the family suites over at Art of Animation, just so you can see what I mean here. If I'm staying in a standard Little Mermaid themed room at Art of Animation in June 2025 with 2 adults and 2 kids, the price for that room is going to range around the $280 per night mark. For the record, I know that sounds super high for a value resort stay, but if it makes you feel any better, Art of Animation tends to be the most expensive option out of the value resorts. However, if I wanted to upgrade to a Finding Nemo or Cars or Lion King themed family suite, that price jumps up to $580 to $650 per night. Yeah, that's a $300 price difference right there, which could be worth it if you want the extra bedroom, an extra bathroom, and additional kitchenette space. Now, if you're wanting a cheaper family suite option on Disney grounds, your most affordable choice is going to be the family suites at All Star Music. For the same time frame in June of next year, the All Star Music family suites, which are going to give you the same amount of extra space as the Art of Animation ones, you're going to pay around $430 per night. They also have, like I said, a slightly bigger kitchen. Meanwhile, the standard All Star Music rooms cost $190 to $220 per night, so those smaller All Star Music rooms are going to cost a lot less. But a very important thing to remember is that All Star Music does not have access to the Skyliner, and Art of Animation does, so just keep that in mind. Still too expensive for you? I get it. You might want to consider booking a hotel that's not owned by Disney, but still close by that offers a lot of the same Disney perks for a cheaper price point, aka one of the good neighbor hotels. That's what they call them if they're nearby and Disney kind of works in a positive way with them. Doubletree Suites by Hilton Orlando, for instance, that's an all-suite hotel that offers 1 to 2 bedroom stays and is located in the Disney Springs area. Suite options here for stays during June 2025 range around $200 to $345 per night, depending on your room style. Not to mention, you'll still receive the early theme park entry for all Disney hotel guests, giving you the chance to enter any of the parks on any days 30 minutes before everyone else, and you'll get complimentary shuttle service to and from the parks as well. To see all of Disney's Good Neighbor hotel options, head over to the Good Neighbor hotel website and do a little browsing. Just make sure to read the fine print for those good neighbors before you commit to any of them, because not all Good Neighbor hotels will have the Disney perks you might still be wanting. They also can be very different with their transportation options. So even though they say free transportation to the parks, that might be like 1 bus an hour, or it might be 1 bus every 5 minutes. You never know. So look at the fine print. And then of course, there's the option of ditching hotels completely and going the Airbnb or Vrbo route. Oftentimes, this will be the best budget-friendly option for bigger travel groups. However, there are definitely downsides you have to consider before booking an Airbnb, like how you're going to be missing out on those Disney resort perks and amenities. And then, of course, there's the biggest factor of them all, the fact that these are third-party companies we're talking about here. Pretty much anybody can get their home ready to rent out on Airbnb, which means you're going to have to do your own research ahead of time and make sure the rental you're planning on booking has decent ratings and reviews. Now, since I've already started talking about other hotels beyond the Disney bubble, why don't we really start to dive into things? This is about what's it like to stay in a Disney hotel. So let's talk about how different the Disney World hotels are compared to basically any other hotel option out there. You might be surprised. First up, motels versus hotels. In the point before this one, we started to illustrate how Disney's hotel room prices are typically notoriously higher than other nearby hotels. And when you pay more for a Disney resort, it can be kind of shocking when you walk up to your hotel room for the first time and notice that it has a layout similar to a Motel 6, where the door is facing the outside hallway rather than an inside one. And that's not just for the majority of the rooms across Disney's value resorts, that's for several of the moderately priced resort rooms, aside from the ones that you'll stay in at the Grand Destino Tower at Coronado Springs, and even for Saratoga Springs and Old Key West, those are both deluxe resort hotels. Now, before you book a room for any hotel, Disney or not, you're going to want to look over pictures of the hotel's layout online to make sure you know exactly what you're booking as best as you can. That's why we've got video after video based around the Disney resorts on our YouTube channel. Not solely because we want to give you valuable information about them, though that's definitely a key reason why we do what we do, but we also want to show you what they're like so you know what to expect, both inside the rooms and outside. Now, how about the breakfast showdown? Okay, when I'm staying at a hotel other than one on Disney property, one of the things I try to scout out are the hotels with complimentary breakfast options, because hey, that's a free meal that I don't have to worry about. Not every non-Disney hotel out there offers free breakfast with your stay, but when you're staying at a Disney hotel, nobody's got free breakfast. Yeah, you can still order breakfast at one of Disney's resort restaurants, since each resort will have at least one place serving up morning grub, but don't expect to just wake up, roll out of bed, and shuffle on over to a community buffet extending out from the lobby where you can scoop up scrambled eggs and biscuits and make your own waffle. Plus, if you stay at the non-Disney-owned Drury Plaza, which is located in the Disney Springs area, you'll not only get free breakfast with your hotel stay, but you can make your own Mickey waffles. Yeah, Mickey waffles. As many as you want, for free. But you'll also get a free 5:30 kickback meal, which includes a rotating menu of dinner time snacks and cold beverages, beer, wine, mixed drinks, and more every single night. And guess what? And at Drury Plaza, which, by the way, this is not an ad. They're not paying us. It's just a good deal. I wanted to tell you about it. You can book a room here for potentially less than $200 per night, depending on when you're traveling and what room style you choose. More often than not, though, average prices here are going to be $210 to $280. So that's around the same price as a Disney Value Resort room, which does not come with breakfast, but it is on property. And let's talk rewards programs. So several chain hotels out there will reward you for your frequent stays on their property. All you got to do is sign up for their free rewards programs, which means you'll have to give them some of your information, like your email and your phone number, and then you'll be enrolled to start earning points. The more rooms you book, the more points you'll earn, and eventually you'll be able to start using your built-up points to save money on your future hotel stays, including stays that are close or in the Disney World bubble. So in the case of a non-Disney hotel like the Swan and Dolphin, for instance, which is owned by Marriott Bonvoy, but still within walking distance of Epcot and Hollywood Studios, you're more than welcome to use your built-up Bonvoy membership points to save money on your stay here. If you're a Bonvoy member, this information is crucial to hold on to, especially if you're planning on going to Disney World in the near future. Not only will you be able to save money on a future stay here, but Swan and Dolphin is typically a whole lot cheaper than a Disney Deluxe resort, regardless of your point status. And yet, it'll still give you exclusive deluxe resort benefits, like those glorious extended evening hours or the ability to purchase Premier Pass lightning lanes. Now, as far as I know, Disney does not have a loyalty program for their hotels, although, hey, Disney, heads up, that'd be a great idea. And transportation. Here's one thing you really want to be aware of before you go all Team Good Neighbor Hotel without looking back. While a handful of Good Neighbor hotels do offer complimentary transportation to and from the parks, sometimes that option can be lackluster when you compare it to what Disney offers. Disney constantly has buses and Skyliners and monorails and boats running all day long to make sure you're getting from place to place around their parks and resorts and shopping district as quickly as possible. But for some of the Good Neighbor hotels, the shuttle services might not be as frequent. They might also require you to sign up for them to reserve your seat on board ahead of time. Not to mention the bus stations for Good Neighbor hotels tend to be way out in the boonies of the parking lot at the tail end of the bus stops. Unless, of course, you're at Magic Kingdom, then your Good Neighbor bus stop is actually not even with the Disney buses at all. Instead, it's over at the Transportation and Ticket Center, meaning you'll have to take a monorail or ferry just to get to it. And immersion. All in all, when you're trying to compare Disney hotels to non-Disney hotels, the winner will all depend on what you prioritize in a hotel stay. For many folks, Disney still tends to come out on top, not just for the hotel perks, but because of the overall immersion of these resorts. Disney's hotels go beyond just being a hotel and can transport you somewhere else entirely, like a tropical beach oasis, a Mardi Gras party, Radiator Springs, you name it, making these Disney resorts a vacation destination in their own right. That's why they're called resorts. Okay, it's finally the day you can move into your hotel, but when exactly can you go there? Well, let's back things up a little bit, because before we can even think about moving in, we got to make sure we check in. Online check-in opens up on the My Disney Experience app and on the Disney World website 60 days before your arrival. The benefit of checking in early rather than checking in once you arrive at your resort is that A, you can skip over waiting in line for the front desk when you get there and instead can just head on up to your room once it's ready for you. And B, you can put in any room requests you might have to improve your chances of getting the exact room type that you want. That is, requesting a specific floor, a view, etc. Online check-in is also great because it'll let you know when your room is all ready for you by sending you real-time updates straight to your phone. Typically, check-in time for the Disney hotels is at 3 or 4 p.m. depending on the hotel. But that doesn't necessarily mean your room's going to be ready for you right at 3 or 4 on the dot, which is why having those push notifications comes in really handy. If you arrive at your resort early and your room's not ready for you quite yet, no worries. You can always drop your luggage off at Bell Services and jump straight into the fun. You'll even be able to use your resort's pools before your room's ready to go, just as long as it's your check-in day and not a day earlier than that. When your phone finally pings you to let you know your room is ready, you'll receive your room number and the ability to unlock your door. If you've got a magic band, you can unlock your door with that nifty little accessory, or you can unlock it through the My Disney Experience app by viewing your resort reservation and selecting the unlock door option. But again, if you choose to opt for the in-person hotel check-in instead, or your My Disney Experience app is being weird and not unlocking your door for whatever glitchy reason, just head over to the front desk and a cast member is going to hook you up with a room key card. Now, heads up, I have had the situation where I don't get a push notification and it's not saying on my Disney Experience app that my room is ready, even though it is. So if it's getting to be like 5 or 6 o'clock and you haven't gotten that notification yet, you may have to go to the front desk. I've had good luck for the past few months, but before that, I was running into some difficulties with that. So if you're like, how can my room not be ready yet? Definitely go check with the front desk. Florida might be known as the Sunshine State, but wouldn't you know, it's not always sunshiny or hot around these parts. I can't tell you how much money myself and the team have spent on buying things like scarves and hats and gloves when we didn't realize it was going to be as cold as it was. Now, once the late fall and winter season rolls around, temperatures can drop down into the 50s and 60s in Orlando, and once the sun sets, they might drop down even more than that, which begs the question, should you even be factoring in hotel pools when you're trying to decide on where to stay during your winter Disney World vacation? Maybe, possibly. Disney keeps their hotel pools open year-round, except for when there's inclement weather or if the temps are going to remain below 50 degrees for the entire day. And that's because Disney keeps their pools heated at a comfortable 82 degrees year-round. So even on slightly brisk days, you might still enjoy taking a little afternoon swim. Just brace yourself for when you step out of the pool, especially if your hotel room's a little bit of a walk back, because things can get chilly when wet skin hits winter air, even in Florida. Now, what's very cool is if you're there when it's really cold outside, you go out in the morning and you can see all the steam rising off the pool because the pool is heated to 82 degrees. That's very cool and kind of surreal to see. Those are fun pictures. Anyway, with all that being said, Disney does use their winter season as a time to give their pools some much needed refurb. They're not going to close down all the hotel pools each winter season, but they will choose a handful to work on each year. That's why you're not going to see the Fantasia pool over at All Star Movies up and open between January to April 2025. And why you won't see Stormalong Bay open over at Yacht and Beach Club between January and June 2025. Though you're more than welcome to still check out the resort's alternate leisure pools instead. And if you're staying at All-Star Movies, you'll also have the privilege of checking out the other All-Star Resort pools as well, including the ones at All-Star Music and Sports. Now, if you book a stay at Coronado Springs, you can lounge away in that massive hot tub they've got over by the dig site, which can fit 20 people. Many of the Disney resorts have hot tubs you can take advantage of during the chillier seasons. The deluxe resorts do anyway, but Coronado Springs holds the record for largest hot tub on property, which is why it's my personal favorite because, let's be real, those smaller hot tubs can get kind of awkward when they're already crowded with other people. So the additional space for the one in Coronado Springs is much appreciated. I don't think I want to be in there when there's actually 20 people in there, though. That's a little weird. Now let's talk dining. Dining around the Disney World hotels is one of my favorite pastimes. I'm probably pretty good at it, not gonna lie. And so many of the Disney hotels have so many tasty options to choose from, whether it be quick service, lounges, table service, even character dining. But here's the question we haven't addressed nearly enough on the DFB Guide channel. Where can you actually find your hotel's restaurants once you're there? Well, for the most part, hotel restaurants are going to be located in your resort's main building. So that's where you're going to find the lobby and the gift shops too. But for some hotel restaurants, you're going to find them a bit more nomadic and nestled into different areas of the resort. For example, at Animal Kingdom Lodge, restaurants like Jiko, Boma, and the Mara are all going to be located in the main building, Jumbo House. But the table service location Sanaa, which you'll hear us brag about all the time, is actually over in Kidani Village, which is all Disney Vacation Club villas. Now, you do not have to be staying at a DVC resort nor be a DVC member in order to dine at Sanaa. All are welcome to book a table here and enjoy what may very well be one of my all-time favorite Disney restaurants. Coronado Springs has several restaurants in the El Centro area like Rick's Sports Bar and Grill, El Mercado de Coronado, and Maya Grill. But if you want to eat at Toledo, Tapas Steak and Seafood, you're going to find that fancy pants dining establishment on the top floor of the Grand Destino Tower. Then there's Three Bridges Bar and Grill, which has its own building out in the middle of Lago Dorado. And over at the Epcot area resorts, you might have to do a bit of strolling before you reach your dining destination, especially at the Boardwalk Inn, where all those main areas will be lined up down on the boardwalk itself. And grocery shopping is going to look a little different depending on your room. Let's say you don't want to eat at a hotel restaurant every night of your stay because that gets expensive. Let's say on some nights you'd rather prep something easy back in the room. That's when stocking up on groceries, either by using a delivery service like Kroger or by swinging by a big box store ahead of time, can help you save money on meals during your trip. But before you stock up, make sure you know what your hotel room's food storage situation is going to be like, because you don't want to invest in a whole lot of groceries that are just going to wind up going bad. In all of Disney's standard size hotel rooms, you're going to have a beverage cooler provided. They call it a beverage cooler. It's a mini refrigerator. It can hold some smaller sized leftovers maybe, but mostly these are going to be for drinks. So you're going to be better off grocery shopping for stuff you don't have to keep cold for a long period of time, like peanut butter crackers or apples and oranges or croissants and trail mixes and stuff. You may also prefer DoorDashing food instead to avoid the limited storage dilemma altogether. Before ordering, check with your hotel's front desk to see the best instructions to give your food delivery person. Some hotels will ask you to meet the driver outside at the entrance, while others will accept deliveries at Bell Services. Now, the family suites at Art of Animation Resort will have a little more fridge space, think counter height, and the refrigerators in the family suites at All Star Music Resort are even larger than that, with an additional small freezer compartment, so you might be able to purchase a few frozen meals to heat up in the hotel room microwave if you desire. Meanwhile, villas and cabins have full-size fridges at your disposal, along with a full kitchen to go along with it. Now, can you really spend a whole day just at your hotel? The short answer is yes. Yes, you really can spend a whole day just at your hotel without ever stepping foot inside a park, yet still have a really good and memorable time when all is said and done. When it comes to what each hotel has to offer recreation-wise, it really depends on the hotel you're staying in, but for the most part, each Disney hotel across the board tends to have multiple pools, complete with poolside activities, nightly campfire activities, movies under the stars, jogging trails, playgrounds, and arcades. On top of that, each resort will also have its own daily activities that you can experience. It's like a big summer camp. Let me show you what a full resort day could look like for your family. How about we explore Disney's Riviera Resort? Along with the free activities I already spouted off, the Riviera has other included offerings you can take advantage of too, like games out on the lawn, like Giant Connect 4, bocce ball, cornhole, checkers, and chess, different scavenger hunts like finding all the hidden Pascals or a signature art collection search, lounging beachside, or if you're lucky, you might spot some Disney characters hanging out and around the resort too, without having to wait to see them in the parks. And for a little extra Riviera Resort spice, you might also want to pay for a few premium activities, like arts and crafts in the Inventi Room, including instructor-led paint classes and mosaic creations. To see what your specific resort has to offer during your visit, be on the lookout for activity schedules inside the lobby or near the feature pool area, or ask a cast member behind the front desk and they'll give you a paper with all of the activities listed. And don't forget that you're not trapped within the confines of your own resort's activities. You are more than welcome to hop around to other hotels too. We love having kind of a hotel tour day where we don't pay for a park ticket and we just go visit all the hotels. This is especially fun at Christmas time because they've got all those gingerbread houses up. By the way, even those who are staying in a hotel outside the Disney bubble are still allowed to come play over at a Disney resort for the afternoon. The only things non-resort guests won't be able to do while they're at the Disney hotels is swim in the pools or use the fitness centers. Everything else is fair game. It's also important to note that parking at Disney resorts is typically reserved for hotel guests only, or for those who have booked dining reservations. So if you're planning on doing any Disney hotel hopping, you'll more than likely have to start your day at Disney Springs, where there's free parking. You can park in one of those parking lots, and then you can hop between Disney hotels using the bus system. Now, hopping between Disney hotels will be a whole lot easier if you stick to the monorail area, Polynesian Village, Grand Floridian, and Contemporary, or the Skyliner area, which is Art of Animation, Pop Century, Riviera, Caribbean Beach, and the Epcot area hotels, Boardwalk Inn, and Yacht and Beach Club. But if you want to head out to Animal Kingdom Lodge, Old Key West, Saratoga Springs, and check them out, go ahead, grab a bus, and head on over. It's free. Now, the question of questions, my friends. What happens if I run out of towels? Never fear, Mousekeeping is here. Disney's Mousekeepers, a lot of us call them Mousekeepers. They're not actually called Mousekeepers, but they should be. They are a hardworking and dedicated team. They're going to make sure you're kept comfy and clean and you're taken care of. But there are a few important details that you're going to need to know about this Justice League of cast members before you move into your resort. First of all, your housekeeping service does depend on where you stay. Those staying at Disney World's moderate and value resorts will have access to housekeeping every other day, while those staying at a deluxe resort will have access every day. That being said, if you book your stay using a Disney Vacation Club or DVC points, you'll receive service every other day like the values and moderates do, unless you're staying longer than 8 days. If that's the case, you'll get a full cleaning service every 4 days instead. Confused? Yeah, me too. Now, this all happened after COVID, that they took housekeeping away, and then all of a sudden it was very limited, and then it's never quite gotten back to where it was. Now, during these cleanings, whether they're every day, every other day, every 4 days, housekeeping will take the time to replace your towels, make the beds, empty the trash and recycling, and vacuum the room, and quite possibly add a few Disney-inspired touches while they're at it. Mousekeepers love adding to the magic of your trip, so they've been known every now and then to leave small gifts for little ones, like twisted extra blankets and towels into the shape of Mickey Mouse, or even add your kids' pair of Mickey ears to their stuffed animal lying on their bed. You know, goofy, silly things that make you smile after a long day in the parks. But if you want to opt out of housekeeping for whatever reason, you're more than welcome to do that too. Just let a cast member at the check-in desk know at any point throughout your stay that you'd rather your room be skipped, or place the room occupied sign outside your door. Note, even if you ask for housekeeping to skip over your room, that does not mean a cast member is never allowed to come into your room, period. If need be, a cast member can enter any Disney hotel room at any time for safety and security reasons, and I think they are actually required to check it every single day just to make sure everybody's safe. Now, I know how you feel. It is the worst when you have to check out of your Disney hotel. The worst. But you don't have to hurry away so soon on the day you check out of your resort. On the last morning, checkout will be 11 a.m. When you leave your room, you can either check out using the My Disney Experience app if you're going to be leaving earlier than 11 a.m. Otherwise, you'll be automatically checked out right when the clock strikes 11. Now, if you've still got a bit of time before you need to head back to the airport or hit the road to start trucking along home, your resort isn't going to be shoving you out the doors and into the streets. You're more than welcome to hang out and milk the last bit of your resort amenities while you've still got the chance. You can't be in your room anymore after 11, but you can continue to use your resort's pool on your checkout day if you'd like, or you can drop off your luggage at Bell Services and hit up the parks or Disney Springs one last time. So if you have more Disney hotel questions for us, drop them in the comments so we can answer them for you ASAP, or possibly add them to a future DFB video. Don't forget to pick up our free Disney World hotel guide over at disneyfoodblog.com/hotels. That's going to give you all the information you need about every single hotel, which, like I said, I've stayed at them all. I've stayed at them a lot, and we've got opinions. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.